In a city of rushing feet and tired hearts, one act of kindness was about to change everything. It was late afternoon, and the sky hung low, gray and heavy like the thoughts on Clara's mind. She had just finished another long shift at a local diner, her shoes soaked, her shoulders heavy from more than just the rain. She walked with purpose but not urgency. She was used to this, the rhythm of survival. But then she saw him, an elderly man struggling on the sidewalk. His grocery bag had torn open, apples rolled onto the wet pavement. A loaf of bread now soggy. People passed, some glanced. No one stopped, except her. Clara didn't hesitate. She crouched down beside him, her knees hitting the cold concrete, and said softly, "Are you all right, sir? Here, let me help you." She reached for the scattered fruit, gently brushed the rain off a carton of eggs, and offered him the last dry corner of her small umbrella. The old man looked up at her, eyes tired but curious. "You always help strangers in the rain?" he asked with a crooked smile. She laughed lightly. "Only the ones who look like they could use a little kindness." They stood together for a moment under that too small umbrella, shielding not just their bodies, but something else. Something fragile. Hope, maybe. He asked her name. "Clara," she said, and then she asked for his. "Alvaro," he replied, a little surprised. She smiled again and said the kind of thing most people forget to say. "I hope the rest of your day gets better, Mr. Alvaro." And with that, she walked away. No expectations. No idea who he really was. No clue that the man she helped wasn't just a stranger, but a billionaire in disguise. Not looking for money. Not looking for fame. Looking for something the world had made very hard to find. A genuine heart. The next day felt like any other. But fate has a way of hiding its steps until it's ready to be seen. Clara was back at work. Same cafe, same routine. Pouring coffee, smiling politely. Listening more than she spoke. But then, there he was, the old man from the street. Alvaro. This time seated quietly in the corner booth with a newspaper and a familiar sparkle in his eye. He looked up as Clara approached. "Coffee?" she asked. He nodded and smiled. The day passed, and yet. He didn't seem to leave. He stayed, sipping slowly, watching the world go by, always with that gentle, unreadable expression. Over the next week, he kept appearing. At the bus stop Clara waited at, in the local library where she studied. Once, even outside the small clinic where she picked up her mother's medication. Never intrusive, never asking for anything. Just present. Each time, Clara greeted him with kindness. A wave, a warm word. She even paid for his lunch once when he pretended to have forgotten his wallet. He had offered to pay her back, but she said simply, "You don't owe me anything. Some things you just do because it's right." And in that moment, Alvaro knew. She wasn't doing it for attention or reward. She was doing it because her heart told her to. Clara wasn't expecting anything. She never did. But one evening, as she returned home from the pharmacy, there was something different waiting in her mailbox. An envelope. Heavy. Cream-colored. No return address. Just her name. Handwritten in perfect script. She opened it slowly. Inside, an invitation. Elegant. Formal. Simple. "Dinner. Friday evening, 7 p.m., the Montero Estate. Thank you, Clara." No explanation, no signature, just a time and a place. She hesitated. She almost threw it away. But something in her heart whispered, "Go." Friday came. She wore the only nice dress she owned, tied her hair back, took the bus, and when she arrived, her breath caught in her throat. The Montero Estate stood like something out of another world. Gates taller than houses. Gardens that stretched into forever. A butler greeted her by name, led her through a long hallway, marble floors, golden light. And then a door opened, and there he was, Alvaro. But not the old man she met in the rain. This time he stood tall, clean-shaven, dressed in tailored elegance, not pretending, not hiding. Clara's eyes widened. He smiled warmly. "Clara, I believe I owe you the truth." He told her everything, that he wasn't poor, that his name, Alvaro Montero, carried weight in rooms she'd never entered, that he had been searching, not for fame, not for admiration, but for sincerity, someone who would see past wrinkles, past rumors, past wealth, someone who saw him. And more than that, someone who could one day be part of his family, a heart strong enough to stand beside his grandson, Gabriel, a man scarred by fortune and fake love. Clara was speechless. "You tested me?" she asked, not angry, just stunned. Alvaro stepped closer. "I watched you when you didn't know I was watching, and every time you chose kindness, not because someone saw, but because you felt it was right." Then the door opened once more, and in walked Gabriel. Young, thoughtful, cautious, their eyes met. And in that quiet moment, there was no need for words. Something passed between them, unspoken but deeply understood. She thought she was helping a stranger, but she was healing a family, and perhaps rewriting her own future, one quiet act of kindness at a time.